happy midweek to you. It's just about time for the area's only live local talk and entertainment show, Virginia This Morning. We're getting ready to launch into action. I'm Bill Bevins. I'm here with Amy Lacey and Kristen Lors. Woo! Normally when the three of us are here, we call it High Point of Wednesday, the high point of the week. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning to you, Bill, and I think it's high point because you have on your bow tie today. Classing it up a little bit here on Virginia This Morning.
It was requested from back in the offices that I wear a bow tie today. We'll get into that in a little later.
Well, it looks fabulous. Well, whether you're watching us from home, work, or on wtvr.com, thank you for making us here, CBS 6, the channel that you watch. We certainly appreciate it, and we are going to deliver for you this morning.
Where can you find informative topics, things that are currently trending, learn how to make delicious recipes, and listen to live music? If it's happening in or around Central Virginia, we've got you covered each weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m.
Okay. All right. So before we even start, I was telling you guys the story about you asked me if I tied this bow tie. I did. Years ago.
But that's great. You got it done the right way, and then it's ready to go when you need it.
It's actually kind of a hybrid. You really tie your own tie, but it's got a snap in the back. So once it's tied, you can hang it up and keep it. And I also told you the story about learning to tie a bow tie. I went to a video, watched it, and it was a guy in New York City at a men's store. And he was going 100 miles an hour, like, boom. And I went, nope. So I looked at, looked at a men's store in, I think it was in either Savannah or Charleston, South Carolina, and the gentleman must have been in his 90s. And he was like, you take it and hold it in this thumb, and you go over that. And it took him like 5 minutes to explain it, which was the perfect speed for me.
That's okay, you got it right there.
And you go to the source. You go to Savannah, you go to Charleston, you go to Richmond to learn how to do that kind of thing. So
it's super.
It is. And it looks fabulous.
Thank you very much. All right. Dallas Senior Consultants presents a Night to Remember event for seniors that come together and have a night of fun, complete with dancing and great food. Chef Mohammed Tarana is here, and he will be on hand serving his delicious food. Today he's going to be cracking and making crab cakes for us to enjoy. Can't wait for that.
Yum. And if you don't get enough food from there, here you go. If you're a food enthusiast, also an animal lover, who doesn't love a corgi? You're going to want to stay tuned. Fetch a Cure Supper Club is happening next month, and you're invited to take part. They've all partnered with the restaurant and Dim Sum. Chef Joe Green is here, and he's going to make something that's going to the dogs, literally. Yeah, he's making some doggy dumplings. And that corgi there is Ollie, who is going to be happy to be the taste tester today. Renee Bowers is from Fetch a Cure and will tell us all about the signature event. I'm going to be heading outside because you know if a dog's here, I'm there. We'll be heading outside in less than 15 minutes.
It just puts a smile on your
face. It doesn't. Who doesn't love a corgi?
That's right, Ollie. We're sweet Ollie. And Tom, according to my weather app, we may be experiencing the dog days of summer today.
Oh, what a segue. Wow, you don't get much segue-ier than that one. That was really good. By the way, and Dim Sum, great name for a restaurant. I love it. And Dim Sum. All right. It really is. It's
you
cool.
want all of that and then some.
Yeah, exactly. And Bill, I'm going to be honest about something. In 1998, I know it was a long time ago, I tied a couple of perfect double Windsors. Wow. And I still have them to this day.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, you take them off and hang them up.
Loosen it, and yes. And then I followed that trend into the early 2000s, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. And now all my ties that I finally get right. You know, ties are different. Some of them are 9 feet long, and some of them. And so when you get that perfect one, it's like, I can't ever do this again. So you just gently loosen it. You know, you try to be perfect, and you kind of hang it up. So I have probably 20 or 30. All right, 50 or 60 of those hanging at home. So there you go. I do not untie a tie once it's been perfect. So especially with a bow tie, which to me is very difficult. You're right, I tried it, I watched videos, I couldn't do it. And I'm left-handed, and so everything's backwards, and no one's teaching it. You know what I mean? So
it takes me about an hour to tie a bow tie.
Exactly. I can't imagine. So, And the thing is, Bill, is I don't think any of us would know if it was a clip-on, right? Would we know that?
No, I couldn't tell.
This isn't a clip-on. This is an actual bow tie that I tied, but it's got the little hitch in the back where you can undo it.
Ah, I see. A little hitch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hit it. As Kristen said, dog days are here, and it's 81 already, and already it feels like it's 86. That is the comfort level. That's how it's going to feel if you're outside cooking. You guys cooking? No. Is everything already cooked? Okay, a little bit of cooking. All right, 73 is the dew point, so it's very humid. Oh, a little bit of a breeze just kicked in. That feels kind of nice. Low 80s and upper 70s around the metro right now. There you go, a wide array of temperatures there, but anywhere between the mid-70s and low 80s. There's a heat advisory that'll be in effect starting noon, and that goes through 8 o'clock. The heat index will approach 105. Maybe slightly exceed that or slightly stay below that in many areas. But these are the daytime highs, about 100 today up in Fredericksburg, about 98 here in town. You add in the humidity and the average body, it's going to feel like about 105 at times going into the afternoon today. So take it easy out there. Still in the hot pattern, tracking a cold front finally, and it'll arrive tomorrow to trigger some thunderstorms by tomorrow afternoon. And when you get a lot of humidity, high dew points, those could be some real downpours. So we'll be on the lookout for that potential, and that's Thursday. That's tomorrow afternoon right through tomorrow evening, and then we could see some of that redeveloping into the day on Friday. Temperatures, though, will gradually nod off from the upper 90s to low to mid 90s tomorrow, but still very humid. Upper 80s to around 90 for the weekend, and then it looks like a nice air mass is going to show up by the middle of next week, 81 next Tuesday. All right, Virginia This Morning will continue right after this.
Hey everybody, Virginia This Morning should be your one-stop shop for everything entertainment and beyond here in Central Virginia. It's after 9, so that means we've officially launched our live show. I'm Amy Lacey. Bill Bevins and I are joined by Kristen Loris today. Happy Wednesday to you. Great to have you here as always.
High Point Wednesdays.
That's what we like to call it.
Right,
Thank you for having me.
All right, we hope that your day is off to a great start.
And it's great to be here to spend the hour with you, Amy, you, Bill, and our valued viewers and friends of the show.
Okay, so we mentioned the little dog that's outside.
Yes.
Corgi. We have a Corgi in our family.
They're
It's a
great
new
dogs.
puppy.
Oh my
And,
goodness. Pictures, please.
Well, it's my son and his girlfriend's dog, and her name is Lilibeth.
Yes, after the Queen.
After the Queen
After the
dogs,
Queen,
yeah.
of course.
It's kind of like this tan, almost golden color. That is the cutest puppy
Cutest little puppy.
ever.
Well, and the ears, you know,
Yeah.
they're kind of out here saying
Yeah.
hello all the time.
Cute little legs.
Yeah, and the little nub of a tail.
Yep. We fell in love and we're like, no, we're not getting another puppy.
Oh.
Yeah, but so we'll go visit.
Yeah,
Okay,
but please, pictures are welcome at any time.
When you go out to visit this one, get a good photo with that
Ollie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll get one before the doggy dumplings and one after the doggy dumplings
Yes.
because I have a feeling that Ollie's going to love those a lot.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. All right, now it's time to bring everybody up to speed, do a little recap for you.
Chef Mohammed Tarana is here in the Virginia This Morning kitchen. He's part of the culinary lineup for A Night to Remember, presented by Dowda Senior Consultants and Commonwise Home Care. His delicious crab cake creation is on the menu. I can't wait for that.
And we've got something for the dogs that we were just talking about. Chef Joe Green is here, and he's going to make some doggy dumplings. And Rena Bowers from Fetch a Cure is here to talk about the Supper Club event. And there's Ollie right there.
Ollie.
There's Ollie. We can't get enough
Yay.
of Ollie. But wait, there's more, but you have to stay tuned to see what else is on today's show. And today is recognized as National Bow Tie Day.
He's doing it.
Mr. B completed the assignment. According to bowties.com, the origin of the bow tie dates back to a specific military unit that fought in the 30 Years' War of the 1600s.
Wow, who knew?
That makes sense. If if you're in hand-to-hand combat, having a long tie is probably not the best thing. Give it somebody to grab, something to grab. So
Just
a bow
tie it
tie
up, a
makes
quick
a little,
bow.
And it looks so official too.
Yeah, very good.
And now, we can go and have a little lunch at the country club and,
That's what it is. Very refined.
do something fun today.
I just tied my imaginary
They don't
bow tie.
allow me in the country club. All right, ladies, it's the last High Point Wednesday for this month, so that means you get one more chance to be a winner. Get ready. It's time for this week's word game. Where'd that come from? All right, for those of you who are visiting us for the first time, here's how we play the game. I mentioned a word and or a phrase that we've all heard and used in conversation. Now we have to figure out the origins of that word or phrase and where it comes from. Today's phrase, train of thought.
So automatically,
What is your train of thought on that, Amy?
I go to the railroad industry and just thinking about trains and as it goes and goes and goes, car beyond car beyond car, and you just have that lengthy description, and I just picture that visual of the railroad.
So, thoughts being dragged.
Thoughts being dragged.
From the conductor.
Yeah.
Okay, train of thought.
We'll
That's what we're going with.
chew on that for a while and find out if they got it right. Well, stick around. We'll find out a little bit later on in the hour.
And we've got more for your viewing enjoyment.
We are taking a live look at the CBS 6 Backyard Weather Garden. I'm going to be heading out there to get a preview of Fetch a Cure Supper Club. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with that and Ollie. Stay with us. Hi everybody, welcome back. I am here outside in the CBS 6 Weather Garden, and our friends from Fetch a Cure, they are happy to partner with the restaurant and Dim Sum for a supper club event that is coming up. Chef Joe Green is here and is going to make some doggy dumplings, and Renee Bowers is here from Fetch a Cure, and she brought along Ollie, who is a 5-year-old corgi who is battling lymphoma, and he will do the honors today of doing some quality control. It is great to have you all here today.
Thank you so much for having us. Ali and Chef Joe and I were also happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about this event that is coming up and really why it is so important for families and dogs like Ollie.
Yeah. So Supper Club was born earlier this year in partnership with local restaurants. We get together with your friends every single month and go out to an amazing establishment and have a great meal. And then at least 10% of the proceeds from that meal come back to our mission and programs. So one of the main programs that it supports is our Companions in Crisis program, which is a financial assistance program for pets with cancer. So Ollie here was diagnosed with lymphoma back in January. And his mom knew that treatment was available, but it can be incredibly cost prohibitive to many families. It's incredibly expensive. So she reached out to us and we were able to provide him with a grant to get the treatment that he needs. And he's currently in clinical remission, which is incredible. After 25 chemotherapy treatments at the oncology service here in Richmond, he is absolutely thriving.
And he is so happy, and he just looks like he's so excited to be here today, and we've already used the dumplings as a little bit of a bribe, so I think we're going to do a little bit of more quality control coming up here.
Yeah.
Chef, this has to be just so meaningful for you to be a part of something like Supper Club and know that not only are you making fabulous food and treats for the animals here, but you're also helping such a great cause.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the things that's why we wanted to partner with Fetch a Cure in doing this, is because we wanted to give back. We want to be a part of the community. We want the community to know that we're there for them. So we're excited to be a part of this. Yeah.
Well, let's make these doggy dumplings. I
course.
can't say that I have ever been a part of preparing something this ornate. You know, in my day, it was, you know, you have a little extra chicken. That's the treat for the dog. But let's go through this and talk about what we're going to do.
So this recipe that I put together, I've made it really simple, so anybody can really do it at home. I just went with a can of straight pumpkin. You want to make sure that you use 100% pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling, because that's got all of the extras, spices, sugars, and all that. We don't want to do anything to mess up the dog's stomach when they're eating it. And I just went with some straight sliced carrots that is in water, and preferably want to do low sodium because you don't want to hit that high sodium content. And then just straight oats. Nothing fancy, just the basic can of straight oats you can get from any supermarket. So.
But these are all people foods too that I guess if you wanted to try it with your pup, you could do a little quality control yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. You could definitely do that. So just go ahead and just get the mixture going in together.
And then these are carrots. Those look like canned carrots.
Yep, just straight up canned carrots. The canned carrots are a little bit easier because you can just take them and smash them up with your hand.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do, I guess, for the texture.
Yep, for the texture. You could use a fork, you can use your hand, it doesn't matter, whichever you want to do. And then get your oats in there. The recipe that I have, I think you guys put on the website. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think that there are going to be a lot of people that want to do this because, you know, treats for pups these days has become quite elaborate. So it's nice that we can do these wonderful things for our family members.
Absolutely. So these are some wrappers that I rolled out in the restaurant yesterday.
Okay.
Just got some cornstarch in between them. When you're doing the dough at home, you want to make sure that you do roll them out really thin, and you can just take a cookie cutter and cut them out into the circle for you. You'll take your water and go around the inside of the wrapper.
Okay.
This will help keep it sealed. And then you want to do a little under a tablespoon, about an ounce of your filling. So this is just, the first one is just a real basic seal. It's just a crescent.
Yeah, you just pinch it.
Just pinch it, super easy. Don't have to go anything crazy with it. You can go into a little bit more of the elaborate folds. So we've got a pyramid one here. I'll show you how to do that one real quick.
I love to learn new treats, so this will be fabulous to learn how to do this at home. Maybe, Ollie, there will be some things that I make coming your way.
Yes.
So it's basically the same thing. Whenever you're going to start any of your folds, you want to get that outer ring wet.
And then put that half a tablespoon
About a half tablespoon, a little under an ounce.
Okay.
So we'll start doing the same thing. You'll go about halfway down, and then you'll take your final edge and bring it back in.
Oh, really, really pretty.
So yeah, just a couple of simple, basic ones.
Well, I think that, you know, I want to make sure that Ollie has enough time to sample. So let's do our thing right now because we want to make sure that Ollie, is it okay?
Yes, please. He's very excited.
I'm going to do a half because, you know, just want to make sure that, hi, buddy.
And a big part of what we do at Fetch is education and awareness around pet cancer, and nutrition is such a big piece of that. So this is incredible, super healthy for this guy, really educational. So thank you, Chef Joe, for coming up with this.
Absolutely. And then that's on September 12th that we are participating in the event. So we are going to have the doggy dumplings available for anybody who comes in and dines with us on the patio. So yeah, we'd love to see as many people as possible.
What a great partnership. This is this is what the community is all about.
Absolutely.
Just our beautiful food scene, supporting all of our wonderful nonprofits. So it's great to meet you both today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Ollie, I know that you've enjoyed it too.
Yes.
Oh, best wishes to you, buddy. I'm really excited.
Thank
to see
you.
that he's doing so well.
He's doing great, and 1 in 4 pets will have cancer in their lifetime. So check your pets at home for lumps and bumps and feed them nutritious meals, and we're here to help if you need us.
Thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We're going to pop up some information if you want to get involved in Supper Club. It is Fetch a Cure Supper Club, September 12th from 5 to 9 p.m. happening at And Dim Sum, 305 Brook Road in Richmond. For more information on how you can make a reservation, just look for a link a little bit later today on our show website. That is virginiathismorning.com. Kristen, Bill, I'm going to send it back inside to you.
All right. Thank you so much. That looked like so much fun. Get ready for a night to remember, speaking of fun. If you're a senior, dust off your dancing shoes and make plans to come on out for a night of fun, music, good food and dancing.
Chef Mohammed is part of the culinary lineup. Hi there at the event, and he's standing by in the Virginia This Morning kitchen, and his crab cakes are on the menu. We'll get to that a little bit later, but first let's talk with two representatives from the sponsoring companies. Jen Dowda, founder and CEO of Dowda Senior Consultants, along with Jeffrey Grossman, founder of Commonwise Home Care. Good morning to you. Welcome to Virginia This Morning.
Thank you so much. Good
I
morning.
love the title of the night, A Night to Remember. Of course, it's all supporting the Alzheimer's Association. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we had an event that we started about 10 years ago called Night to Shine for kids with special needs that just was amazing. And so when we started this company for seniors, we thought we want to have an event just like that, but for seniors, where it's just amazing and incredible and everybody has the night of their life, and we wanted to have a great purpose for it, and so that's why we chose the Alzheimer's Association.
Kristen, I had a chance to be the MC last year, and it was such a special night, and everybody there seemed to be kind of on the same page. It was like, let's have some fun. Let's let these people who are so important in our lives show them how much we love them, and you did exactly that, didn't you?
Oh, yes, we did. It was amazing. We're so glad you could come and host us that night.
Yeah, I wish I could be there this year. Can't make it this year, but next year, make sure you get in touch
Okay.
with me. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
And you have some good entertainment. We were just talking about Good Shot Judy. You had them last year, have them again, and I love their story.
Yes, they're
a great
amazing.
band.
You cannot not dance. You can't not be happy when you're there. They are so fun, and they come down in the audience, and it's really, really fun.
Jeffrey, tell us about your involvement here, because obviously you're very passionate about your part of this event too.
Well, last year, Commonwise was one of the sponsors of the event, so I had the opportunity to experience it much like you did, as someone that wrote a check but then came just to experience the night. And as you said, the energy in the room and the way that Jen and her team really honored the folks that created Time to Come by hosting an event that was meaningful and elevated, and just the energy so fun. We wanted to be more involved. We wanted to contribute this year at a deeper level and just sort of contribute to that goodness out of our sort of shared passion for this group of folks.
And this is the second year you guys are doing it, so obviously the first year, last year went really well, so it's coming around again. Does this open up the conversation about the Alzheimer's Association? I feel like, you meet someone and they could have a story about someone dealing with Alzheimer's as well.
Absolutely, and the executive director, Lissa Greenlee, she was on here with me last year, and they'll be there, and just kind of raising awareness, and in the midst of that, bringing hope. Knowing that there's still life, and we're gonna just bring as much joy as we can to people's lives is what the event is all about.
Jeffrey, I don't think we mentioned exactly what your company does. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So Commonwise Home Care, we're sort of adjunct to the work that Jen and her company do. When older adults are trying to age at home, oftentimes for as long as they can or in advance of a decision to maybe move to a senior living community, they can sometimes need help in their homes. And so our firm basically brings that infrastructure of care into someone's individual home.
Okay.
So we've been open for 11 years, and we've had so many opportunities to work with families and support families. Oftentimes the genesis of the relationship is in an emergent situation or moment, and we're coming in and providing a service that is sort of functionally helping the families. And it's nice to take a moment and spend some time thinking more proactively about how to bring joy before those moments. So it's an opportunity for us to sort of wear a different hat or contribute to a different part of the process.
And it's nice that you're able now to support each other, so you have a great partnership here.
We do. We're like we said, we're consultants, so we're trying to help people with whatever it is that they need, and a lot of people are needing that home care, so being able to partner with them has been really amazing for so many of our clients.
And I'll just say about Jen's firm, Dowda Senior Consultants, that our company operates in various different markets, and there's only one Dowda Senior Consultants in any market that we've ever worked in that provides a service to help folks find the best communities for them, find the best living situations for them, but also thinks about that function so much more broadly. It's a gift to Richmond for sure, and it's been every time I go into a new market in a new state, I often will wish that Dowda was there as well. So it's a real great resource.
And Jen, I know that having been there, the night is about fun, but it's based in love. And what he said is absolutely true. There's a world of difference between the way you approach this with the love and the kindness and the compassion that you bring, and it's really special. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate y'all coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Dowda Senior Consultants and CommonWise Home Care present A Night to Remember on Sunday, September 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Ackesreiner Center, 1712 Bellevue Avenue in Richmond. Admission is $25. Virginia This Morning is where you will find a link with all the information.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This segment is sponsored by Virginia Housing.
Hi, everybody. It is Welcome Home Wednesday, presented by our friends from Virginia Housing. Today's topic deals with how you can improve your credit scores. You can actually give your credit a boost. Here are a few basic tips that we have for you. It's important to pay your bills on time. Keep credit card balances low to 30% or less of the maximum credit limit. We all know how easy it is to take out that credit card and then pay for things that we want.
Of course, avoid co-signing on someone else's financial account. Talk to a certified housing counselor, and there are many free counselors available.
Remember, improving your credit score takes time and consistency. For a housing counselor near you, with HUD's easy-to-use search tool, you can find that on HUD.gov.
For other home buying resources, of course, you can visit virginiahousing.com.
So important to make this a part of your life and just always stay mindful about, as I said, it's so easy to pull out a credit card, buy something, but then there is that payment for it, and if that balance continues, then that's when you can end up having some problems.
Right, and there's just so many resources out there, but if you can stay up to date with paying your bills on time, like we had mentioned, you know, you'll start to see little by little. It may take time and you have to be consistent with it, but if you can pay bills on time, do some of those tips that we had just offered, those are great reminders for you, then of course you'll be able to start slowly chipping away and improving your credit score.
Something that we can do on a daily basis. Well, before we had to break, let's send it on over to Mr. B. You have something special for us.
You bet we do. Folks, you can join us to help raise money for the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Richmond. This year's Red Shoe Rendezvous Gala is set for September 16th at the Dominion Club in Glen Allen. Theme this year is 60s Palm Springs. To purchase tickets, just scan the QR code on your screen. And if you buy them before September the 2nd, you can save up to $50. And stick around, there's more Virginia This Morning coming up right after a quick break.
This segment is sponsored by Our Home Magazine.
Glamour is all the rage in the River City, and you can learn all about it in the next issue of Our Home Magazine.
Today, our good friend Susan Morgan, managing editor, joins us to share a preview of the September-October issue of the publication. Always good to see the very glamorous Susan joining us. Susan, this is, you know, we cover a lot of topics that I know nothing about, and I learn stuff. So I am not the most glamorous guy in the world, so you're going to have to help us through this. This is a style, obviously, that is different from a lot of others in and then, oh, she's going like, see, I know nothing. Go ahead, I'll just shut up. You talk, Susan.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I think most people, when you say glam style, they think of Hollywood Regency style from the 1930s with mirrored dressers and, you know, lots of shiny surfaces. But really what it's evolved to is it's really about creating a space with a sense of luxury and personality. So it's maybe mixing vintage and antique with modern, or adding metallic accents, or using luxurious fabrics and things like that, and textures and patterns, and layering things to make it feel kind of warm and welcoming.
So you can start with something very traditional and then just make it your own by adding those elements that make it takes it up a notch.
It does kick it up a notch, and it doesn't have to be, I mean, it really is kind of an offshoot of traditional style originally, but it can work with any style that you might have.
We're seeing those shots there. Was Fearless Style, was that the cover?
Yeah, the cover is Fearless Style, and really you could say that it's fearless, because people are showing their personalities through their interiors. So in this issue we have 3 featured homes. One is the one that's on the screen now, and it's, well, I guess it's gone past, but one is owned by an artist, Geraldo Neto, and his friend Sean Lohr, who Geraldo is an artist, and he actually handcrafted a lot of the furniture and cabinets in his house, a lot of the woodwork.
Beautiful.
The paintings in there are all his except for one. He's just really amazingly talented, and it's got a very masculine vibe, but it's a beautiful space. Another one is a wallpaper designer who does big graphic, bold prints. And she lives in Windsor Farms, and she's got those bold prints juxtaposed against the formal woodwork that's in this house, and it's so they're very interesting. And the third one is also in Windsor Farms, but it's very different. It's kind of continental in style.
You said that there was a farmhouse kitchen that had been updated.
Well, no, that was old. That was kind of a joke, but somebody was talking about that. I usually pair things in the issues. So last year at Christmas, I had a urban farmhouse they were talking about, because he said something about a farmhouse, and I said, well, yeah, and I ended up pairing that. The other house in the issue was actually a real farmhouse.
Okay.
So,
I had a question. So the 2 gentlemen we saw, were they the guys that fixed up? Was it a brick rancher? Was there?
That is actually it was a ranch house on Monument Avenue. It's a very modest house down at the end, kind of near where the JCC is.
Okay.
And under with their design insight or whatever. I mean, that's the one the artist lives in, and he created everything pretty much in that room.
But from the outside, you look at it, you would
just looks
might not
normal.
even
The only
notice
thing
it.
that you would notice is that it's painted a darker color than everything else.
So you really can't judge a book by its cover, because and I love real estate, and I love going to an open house and that, because people do, I mean, they make it their space, and you can make it really glamorous, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a certain type of home or the certain type of architecture to get that aesthetic inside.
Right. I mean, in this issue, we have tips from designers, in town, talking about their favorite ways to add a little bit of glam or style into the home. I wrote an article on the lucite furniture, which was really big. It was actually created in the 30s, and which I didn't realize till I was researching it. But I mean, the 70s and 60s were pretty much the heyday, but it's back, and it's still part of design, and it's still considered pretty glamorous.
Virginia, this morning we have it here, so we're we're on trend here with lucite.
Amy hit on the point that going in and seeing some of these, when we do the house tours and stuff, we learn so much. Well, you can get your magazine and do the exact same thing, and really have time to study it, and you're not just rushing through. Thank you, Susan.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's great to have you in here today.
Fearless style.
Here. Thank you.
The Our Home Magazine office, that's located at 1910 Bird Avenue, Suite 100 in Richmond. For more information, give them a call at 804-355-0111 or visit the website richmondmagazine.com/ourhome. Kristen, over to you.
All right, thank you. You have a chance to join the CBS 6 team as we participate in the 11th annual Speak Up 5K, sponsored by Dominion Payroll. It benefits the great work of the Cameron K. Gallagher Foundation. This signature event raises awareness for teen mental health, and CBS 6 is a proud sponsor. Now, you can register for the 5K by scanning that QR code right there on your screen. It's being held September 7th at Bird Park. Stay tuned. There's much more in store for you to enjoy after this quick break.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to watch Virginia This Morning today. Dowd's Senior Consultants and Commonwise Home Care present a Night to Remember event for seniors to come together and have a night of fun. Chef Mohammed Tarana is one of the talented chefs preparing food for the event, and today he's here in the Virginia This Morning kitchen to make some yummy crab cakes. Hi, Chef.
I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited too because crab cakes, you know, anytime you go to a party, it always seems like that's the hors d'oeuvre that everyone is talking about. So talk to us about what you're going to be doing here and really why you wanted to take crab cakes to this event.
So one of my favorite dish is the crab cakes.
Yeah.
Every time I go to a restaurant, I always have to try one of those items like the crab cakes and just like to see what they did new to it.
Yeah.
And in all of our community, most of our residents love the crab cakes.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a perfect fit for that event, you know. And it's so easy to make. It could be done under 10 minutes, you know. So it was like fantastic recipe.
So definitely a win-win because, you know, it's something that you enjoy making and it's something that then the folks will enjoy eating. So
100%.
let's whip this up together and show your take on the crab cake because like you said, everyone's recipe is just a little bit different. So I look forward to seeing what you're doing
Completely different. Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put you to work.
Absolutely, I'm gonna earn the paycheck today. So let's
So
get me
first of
started.
all, we can just crack one egg in here.
Okay.
So we can start our sauce for the crab cake.
Shall I start beating
Yes,
this
you
egg?
could start mixing it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add a little bit mayonnaise for you.
Okay.
Just to combine all that crab cake together.
Just kind of like that's about maybe a tablespoon or two.
Tablespoon, yeah. We're making just a small recipe just to show everybody, and we're gonna go with a little bit
Sure.
mustard too
Okay.
to it, not too much.
Okay, and that was, I'd say, about a teaspoon.
About a teaspoon as well. So now we're gonna go with the parsley, is for flavor and color as well.
And you're using the fresh, but could you use the dried parsley if that's
I
what you
really
have at home?
don't recommend it,
Yeah.
but you could really use the dry, but definitely it's not in my book.
Fresh always
100%.
adds that
Yes.
flavor so much better. And I mean, let's just say it. A lot of folks have that bottle of parsley in their pantry for, I'm just going to
100%.
say what I've been doing, maybe like 8 years. It's like, it's good to get the fresh.
I get it, but just get rid of that bottle, please. So we can add some chive and a little fresh thyme as well.
Chives, yum.
And traditional little Old Bay seasoning, just
Okay.
like half a teaspoon.
Okay, and then, you know, I guess if you want a little more flavor, you can just add a little bit to
You
it.
definitely could add in just a little bit kosher salt.
We had a chef on the other day too who said that they really like the kosher salt because it has more of that grit to it, you know?
Correct.
And it adds something, it adds some flavor there then to the recipe.
100%. Now you could put the whisk away. We're done with
Okay.
that. Perfect. I'll take that.
Thank you.
And then we could put that crab meat
Oh
in
my
there. And we can use the
goodness.
spatula to fold it.
This is beautiful, the lump. Oh, you were very generous with the crab. Yum, yum, yum.
And then we can put some Japanese breadcrumb just to combine it together.
That's panko?
Yes.
Nice. And that also has such great texture. It adds oftentimes a little bit of a crunch to it where traditional breadcrumbs just, I think sometimes they're missing out.
100%. I think you're doing fantastic.
Thank
job.
you. And I can get a side job. So
We're hiring. So now I always recommend to leave it in the fridge for at least like an hour.
Okay.
So to let it all combine together, the flavor, before you shape it up. You could
Okay.
shape it however you could use like ice cream scoop to scoop it up, or you could, however you want to shape it. I always use those little ring for the restaurant, you know, and shape it inside just to give it that perfect look.
Okay.
So I already prepared some ahead, and now we can just really show everybody how we can cook it.
okay.
So we can add a little bit olive oil.
Going back a step, is there anything about the mixing? Do you want to make sure you don't overmix or just kind of?
You definitely know, never overmix, just fold in motion to it,
Okay.
just to keep all of that meat combined together, so you don't want to overmix
Okay.
it 100%. So I have one already I made ahead of time.
Okay,
You know,
the
we
magic
set it
of
up.
TV.
Yes.
From here to here.
So always when you want to fry it, you just want to put it with the oil still a little bit cold because you don't want it to overcook.
Yep.
So we can start with it and just let it cook.
I make that mistake all the time. I have it waiting for me. It's too hot, and then it chars on the outside before it's really cooking on the inside.
100%. Gonna turn it up a little bit.
Okay.
And we'll take 2 minutes each side.
Okay.
And then you put it in the oven for another like 3 minutes. But if you do it on the stove, you could do it for 3 minutes each side
Okay.
on a low heat, and that will be perfect as
Okay.
well.
So in the magic of TV, again, we're cooking here, and then we flip it after a couple of minutes, and then you plate it. And what kind of slaw do you have here?
So we have a little cabbage slaw. You could use anything you really like with it. You could use the microgreen. You could use some of your favorite lettuce in there. Just chop it up. And olive oil, lemon, and a little bit salt. Nothing much to it. And we can have the remoulade sauce. Remoulade sauce is basic recipe. Everybody knows how to make it.
Yeah.
So it's add that little flavor to that crab cake. Some people use caper, some people use chive, parsley. So mine with chive from parsley and relish as well. I added to it. So that's going to go on the bottom of the crab cakes, and the slot's going to go on top, and it's going to be fantastic.
You have all of those layers too, and for the sauce, I mean, it's not that hard to make, because sometimes folks, they will go out and buy it, but I mean, you just probably have the ingredients right there at home.
Everybody have it. It's a mayonnaise, mustard, and the seasoning, a little Old Bay. You know, you have your relish in there as well, and then you just fold that together, fresh parsley. Any kind of those fresh herbs that go so well with it as well.
Okay. Any other thing that you would recommend if somebody's maybe trying to do the crab cake at home, how you can make sure that it is cooked to the perfect consistency like you'll be doing for the event coming up?
So it's always if you follow that recipe, for example, you have to cook it. If you cook it stovetop, you could do it, like I said, 2 minutes each side and 3 minutes in the oven. Or you could just put it on your sheet pan with a little olive oil and put it in the oven and rotate it halfway. It will take you like 10 minutes to be ready.
All right, Chef. Such a great segment today. And ooh, we have a little bit of poppin' action going on.
I think it's like almost ready to flip.
There we go. It looks beautiful. Well, we are going to head to a commercial break, but first, Dowda Senior Consultants and Commonwise Home Care, excuse me, I am a little verklempt over this crab cake. A night to remember on Sunday, September 8th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Acker Shriner Center, 1712 Bellevue Avenue in Richmond. Admission is $25. And Virginia This Morning is where you'll find a link with all of the information. We're going to end the show here in the kitchen to get a little sample of this. But Kristen, now you're here with a Virginia This Morning giveaway.
That's right. I'm going to try to do this justice. Shake your booty, that's the way, and Get Down Tonight. They're classic hits from Casey and the Sunshine Band. And now lucky caller 6 right now to 342-5745 wins 4 tickets to see them live on stage in concert for Atlantic Union Bank After Hours in Doswell. This Saturday, it's August 31st, 39 Meadow Farm Road in Doswell. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. The show starts at 7 p.m. Here's the number, 342-5745, the number to dial, and good luck. After the break, we'll see if Amy and I guess the origin of this week's word phrase. Train of thought. We'll see.
Earlier in the show, we gave you the phrase train of thought. You probably know what it means, but let's find out where that comes from. All right. This one was first used by philosopher Thomas Hobbes in 1651. Remember? He used the idiom train in the sense of orderly sequence of things. You know, like one car right after another, a train of thought. And that's where that comes from. Choo, 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 choo. They got it right today.
Yeah, Kristen, we did it.
Wow. To end the
Fantastic.
month on a high note. We did it.
I know, because sometimes it can be hard to know, but you know what?
Train of thought. Even when Bill gives us a little bit of a hint, I still feel like we have a hard time and struggle with this one.
1631. That's a long train.
That is a very long frame. So, but it's good to know that we were right on mark today.
That's right. Right on.
Well, we're ready to. Oh,
Yeah, I know you are.
smells
Yeah, you came on over here because
Yeah.
we're in the kitchen with Chef Mohammed, and you know, this delicious crab cake is on the menu today. So please plate
Fantastic.
away.
Let's plate that. So we're gonna go with the sauce, like I said before. So I'm gonna use that little spatula, put it right in the center.
Beautiful. And
You
just
don't want to use too much of
Yeah,
it, too.
just
you know,
enough.
just the flavor, yeah. Then we can get our crab cake.
That is a
Perfectly
big,
golden.
thick, golden.
100%.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I can
Shane.
vouch for the fact that there's a lot of crab in
Yeah,
there.
we saw that.
Less filler, more crab.
Absolutely.
Just a
The
little
garnish is
ketchup.
beautiful too. The colors, everything mixed together.
And it's just that simple, isn't it?
And then I got
Ladies.
forks for the
Thank you.
ladies.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you so much.
And I got a fork for you, too.
That's okay. No, you oh, ooh, we did have one. All right.
Well, and are you going to put a little lemon on there or no?
But it doesn't need
Okay.
it. Trust me. It's
Okay.
gonna be
It's going to be delicious.
Okay, let's do this, Kristen. Okay, here we go. Yum,
We
yum.
get a little sauce in there. Wow.
Goodness.
You get to 10 fingers up, the
Perfect.
2 thumbs up. and here we go.
Okay.
We forgot Bill.
It's just so good.
Well, you know, it's hard to share sometimes, Bill.
Love it.
Oh, good.
It's so
And you
fresh.
don't need a lemon. It's there.
You know, it's in the
Yeah,
mix,
something
yes.
is like bursting. Is it the lemon? It could have been the lemon.
Lemon zest, and so just a little bit to it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up.
Well, and this also is going to be for such a great event that give people really a night to remember. And so, I mean, I can see that that's going to help people make memories. That's the great thing about food. It brings people together, and people will remember these types of meals.
That is so fresh,
Right.
light, and yet creamy at the same time.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
All
very
of it
nice.
kind of works together, I feel like, from the top to the bottom, in the middle.
That little crunch from the slaw, so it was just perfect.
It was. It was.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Anytime.
We want to thank you, and we want to thank all of our guests. It has been a jam-packed show today. We've been inside, we've been outside. We had doggy dumplings, we had human perfection crab cakes. So this has been a really, really special show that we've had today.
Fantastic. Our live show is back tomorrow morning. We hope you can join us then.
And it all starts at 8:56 a.m. Have a wonderful High Point Wednesday.
I got it right
Happy
today.
Wednesday to you. That's right.
Ooh, train of thought.
This is so good. What do you put in the garnish here with the green? Is that cucumber?
So, no, that's a fresh thyme and chive, so we'll give it that little freshness.
Fresh.